We wanted to put out a little video discussing the official range commands for IDPA. Have a lot of times where a new shooter comes to a match and maybe they don't know what to expect, or you have competitors that have shot with a lot of local clubs and they find that it's a little different no matter which club they're at or which range they're at. IDPA has a list of official range commands that are to be used in the running of all their matches. We just kind of wanted to walk through it tonight, give you the official commands, when they're to be used, what they are used for, so that everyone has a better understanding of what to expect in a match and ultimately give us a more consistent product from club to club and range to range. If you have any questions on any of the rules or any of the commands, you can of course always go to the IDPA website. We'll have a link at the end of the video. There's a tab that says Rules of the Game. You can download a PDF copy of the rule book. Suggest everyone do it just to have on hand for reference. Or you can always go to our Facebook page for Badger IDPA, and we're more than happy to answer any questions you have there. So we'll have links at the end of the video, but for now let's go and talk about some of the range commands and just give you an idea of what to expect at your first match.
Range is hot, eyes and ears. This is the first command given to the shooter starting the action of shooting a stage. This command signifies the start of the course of fire. The shooter will make sure that their eye and hearing protection is in place. It is also notification to anyone in the shooting bay to check that their own eye and hearing protection is properly fitted. Load and make ready. When the shooter has proper eye and hearing protection, the SO will issue the load and make ready command. The shooter will prepare the firearm and magazines to match the start position for the stage. Typically, this is to load the firearm and holster, but may include non-typical loading or staging of equipment. The shooter will then assume the starting position necessary for the stage. If the shooter's firearm is not loaded for the start of a stage, the command used will be make ready. Are you ready? After load and make ready, the SO will ask the shooter, are you ready? If ready, the shooter should respond verbally or by obvious nodding of the head, but may also choose to stand ready. If there is no response from the shooter in approximately 3 seconds, the shooter is assumed to be ready. If the shooter is not ready when this question is asked, the shooter must respond, not ready. If the shooter continues to not be ready, the shooter must take a step out of the shooting position. When ready, the shooter will assume the starting position and the "Are you ready?" question will be asked again. The shooter is expected to be ready to proceed approximately 15 seconds after the load and make ready command. If the shooter is ill-prepared and needs more than 15 seconds to get ready, the shooter will be advised that he/she is being given approximately 15 seconds more to prepare. If the shooter is still not ready after that period, they have earned a procedural error penalty and will move down in the shooting order. Stand by. This command is given after the shooter is ready. This command will be followed by the start signal within 1 to 4 seconds. The shooter may not move or change positions between the standby command and the start signal unless required to do so by the course of fire. Finger. This command is given when the shooter's finger is not obviously and visibly outside the trigger guard when it should be, as noted earlier. Muzzle. This command is given when the muzzle of the shooter's firearm is pointed near a muzzle safe point. The shooter must correct the errant muzzle and continue with the stage. Stop. This command is given when something unsafe has happened or is about to happen during a stage, or when something in the stage is not correct. The shooter must immediately stop all movement, place the trigger finger obviously and visibly outside the trigger guard, and wait further instruction. Failure to immediately stop and remove the trigger finger from within the trigger guard will result in disqualification from the match. Cover. This command is given when a shooter is not properly using cover. Refer to Rule 3.6 for specifics of using cover. If finished, unload and show clear. This command will be issued when the shooter has apparently finished shooting the stage. If the shooter is finished, all ammunition will be removed from the firearm and a clear chamber cylinder will be shown to the SO. If the shooter is not finished, the shooter should finish the stage and the command will be repeated. If clear, slide forward or close cylinder. Once the SO has inspected the chamber cylinder and found it to be clear, this command will be issued and the shooter will comply. Pull the trigger. The shooter will point the firearm at a safe berm and pull the trigger to further verify that the chamber is clear. If the firearm fires, the shooter will be disqualified from the match. This requirement also applies to firearms with a decocker or magazine disconnect. For firearms with a magazine disconnect, an empty magazine or dummy magazine must be inserted before the trigger is pulled and then removed again. This command is not needed for revolvers. Holster. The shooter will safely holster the firearm. Range is clear. This command indicates to the shooter and anyone within the stage boundaries that the range is clear. This command begins the scoring and resetting of the stage.
Eyes and ears going hot. Hold, make ready. Shooter ready? Stand by. You're done. Unload, show clear. Through the magazine. Show me the empty chamber. Slide forward, pull the trigger, and holster. Range is clear.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a better understanding of the official IDPA range commands, how they're to be used, in what situations they're to be used, in which order they're to be used. If you have any questions, go to the IDPA website, download a copy of the rule book. Everything is pretty self-explanatory. Or you can always contact a local IDPA club in your area. If you go to Google, type in IDPA in your geographic region, should come up with a list of clubs, or you can find a list of clubs on the IDPA website once again. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you guys out on the range. Remember, take somebody shooting.